You're probably thinking that selling beats nowadays and making a living off your music is just impossible to do. The market's oversaturated and it's just impossible to break through the countless other producers trying to do the same thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not impossible and it's not oversaturated to the point where you can't make a living off your music. What it does mean though is that you have to work really hard. And that's the first point in actually making money from music in general, is that you've got to be prepared to work really hard. I know there was a point where I started to fall into this trap, but don't start thinking you can take a shortcut here, a shortcut there, and the industry will just kind of make a path for you and you can kind of glide on straight through to make loads of profit from your music. That's just not how it works. As annoying as it is, you're not just going to be making huge profit from your beats instantly. You've got to be prepared to work hard. So send loops to producers. The best thing about making your own loops is that you can leverage both the loops you make and the type beats you make with them. As well as selling beats on your own type beat channel, you can leverage them by sending them to other producers who can then make beats and post them to their own type beat channel, which then increases your reach by 10 times over. I've done a video more in depth about how you can send loops to producers, so if you need to, go and look at that video. But the gist of it is that you want to build an email list by finding people who make the same type beats you do, or type beats in the style of what your loops are, and then send a few loops out every week to the people in that email list. An easy way to build an email list is to search into YouTube for the type beats you make or the style that your loops are in, and go into the description of each video and DM that producer on Instagram asking if they have an email which you can send loops to. And I tell you how to do this and how to word the DM all in that video I've just mentioned, so go check it out. Something I'd really recommend, which other producers may not be too fussed about or give too much of a priority to, is posting content. And I can make a whole nother video on this, so just comment if you want that. The marketing tool which is going to give you the most consistency in sales is your personal brand. And the way that you can create and build this personal brand, I think, is to post consistently on social media. I talk about this a lot because it's so important, but if you find the right audience of artists or producers on TikTok and Instagram, people will start to see you regularly on social media, which in turn is going to make people interested in you and your brand, and eventually trust you for the skills which you're demonstrating on social media, that being making and selling music. The videos don't have to be anything special, the views don't even have to be that crazy or viral. Just consistency alone paired with content will push you to people who will want to buy your beats. I have an example of someone who asked me to produce a whole album for them just because they saw my content on TikTok. So don't neglect content. Find a niche, pick the style of beats you most enjoy making rather than the style you think will just make you the most money or make you grow the quickest. That might be surprising to hear, but the reason I say it is because you've got to start thinking long term. You're not going to want to continually make a style of beat which you're not really a fan of or don't really enjoy making, especially when things get tough and you have to keep consistent and stay patient. It's going to be a lot easier to do that when you're making music in a style which you really enjoy. Also, if you feel too boxed in by picking one niche, you're more than able to pick another niche and upload to 2 different type beat channels at the same time. I would say for most people this would be too heavy a workload to keep consistent on both type beat channels, but if you're able to do that, then definitely go ahead. And if you feel you really can't just make one style of beat in one niche, then by all means create another channel and diversify the kind of beats that you make. Then all that's left to do is post on YouTube and BEATSTARS consistently. Basically as much as you can, but however many times a week, make sure the upload schedule is consistent. Whether it's 3 or 7 times a week, make sure you post in a consistent schedule to help your channel grow. An important point with this is don't start to see results and sales really quickly. You've got to stay patient. It's easy to hear the people who are making 6 figures when they're 16 and think, oh, why am I not growing? Why am I not making any sales? And then getting frustrated and giving up. But you've got to remember, those kind of people are the outliers. And the slow upward peaks and troughs is what's normal. So keep consistent and don't give up. Study other type beat channels and see what they're doing and see what works well for them. Then implement those same things to your own channel. As I say, don't expect it to just instantly translate to results. Remember, they've been perfecting their own channel, the way they arrange beats, title beats, the thumbnails that they do. They've spent a lot of time perfecting their own channel. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this video helped. If it did, please like and subscribe. I've also got a new guitar loop kit in the description of this video, so download that if you would like. And I'll see you in the next video.